Okay, according to this, that both the city of Imperial Beach and the county of Marine both filed cases against Chevron on July 17th of 2017. One of the things I've been tracking is that after a certain timeline after which you do a filing, even if they dismiss it or deny it, that there are securities that are often set up. And especially if you're doing something like suing a major gas and oil company, you better believe they've got major securities set up. And I'll let you know, as somebody that was subjected to various aspects of the derivatives market of the gas and oil sector before I started doing my own research, and by the way, this happened to me in California, that what happens is that these companies have these major financial moments, these major economic events, and then other people get triggered. This is part of the behavioral science testing and the behavioral economics testing that's been going on, especially in the last 10 years. Is that people that are alleged to have some sort of medical problem end up getting put into the pipeline. And then at certain points, they get tested and get used in terms of being assessed as some sort of mobile asset, where their resource acquisition becomes a economic event that I understand and believe is characterized as a derivative in connection with whoever they're assigned to as an asset. And they swap us and they transfer us and they trade us as assets all the time. And so, if you've got two cases filed by municipalities or by different political subdivisions on the same day for something like this, I'm just going to let you know that runs a very huge risk. That what's happening is you guys are trying to put together some sort of strategy where you're strategically timing your assault on that company in a manner that has an impact directly on the people they're using as assets. So you might ping them from Imperial Beach and then hope that whatever you end up getting gets captured in the county of Marin. And that's exactly what I have been witnessing going on down here for years. And it's not so different from what I believe has been going on in California for at least 10 years. But there's a different culture that's supposed to be associated with that. And if that's actually what's going on, then the question is you've got like what, 3 days to respond to a 3 year. And you're talking about Chevron during this time. What kind of response is being expected in this regard, right? Because during July of 2017, there was a lot of stuff that was going on as a buildup to these things, and after things like Hurricane Harvey and Hurricane Maria and Hurricane Irma came through the southeast, relationship with the gas and oil sector changed very significantly. There also was a lot of wildfires that were going on in California. Let me ask a question. Was there something about the employment or deployment of directed energy weapons that would be connected to people who had specific interest in the gas and oil sector that was used in some sort of retaliatory effort against political subdivisions in California or their allies, specifically as a result of what else was going on in these litigious efforts? And if so, did you ever disclose that? Did you try to use PG&E and the bankruptcy of PG&E as some way to placate or ameliorate the escalation? Because I have absolutely every reason to believe that if you're going after guys like this, that's the kind of thing they would do. I was witness to it myself while I was on the streets. I know how they did it. But at the same time, now we're dealing with a biological attack that people are trying to identify under the auspices of healthcare. Who benefits from that? If your municipality is able to get kickbacks from Medicare to pay for alleged services at public hospitals or some other sort of situation connected, for instance, to the way you're announcing new bond offerings under the contextualization of it being about the COVID 19 pandemic, right? When what's really going on is an escalation in global biological warfare that has basically taken our foreign forays in the gas and oil wars into the United States at a higher risk level of escalation. You have a duty to appropriately inform and prepare your people rather than trying to play some sort of game of deception where you're trying to convince us that we're sick and we need to go check in to do our bio data dump to pay off these gangsters. I'm just really hoping you reconsider that, because I contend every single municipal bond that is trying to introduce itself And every single major bond that's tried to introduce itself and contextualize it within COVID 19 being a health pandemic or being a healthcare problem is completely 100% fraudulent. And if it can be determined that municipalities, especially in certain areas, are intentionally trying to get new bond obligation and new public debt obligation set up to help them fight this biological warfare under false pretenses, then we're talking about treason. That makes these war bonds. And you're lying to people about being at war.